Welcome back, viewers. After an amazing harvest from my container vineyard, it's time to take these grapes home and make some wine. Let's crush some grapes.
greensandmachines.com.
What's going on, folks? Today we're going to be crushing the grapes. We've got a lot of grapes here. We actually have enough this year to make two vintages. We've got white blend here with a lot of Palomino. I forget whatever else. Chardonnay's in here too. And we got red, which is a lot of Pinot Noir, Cabernet Sauvignon, and a little bit of Barbera. So we're gonna get some crushing. We've got 2 pounds of white grapes here and 1.5 pounds of red grapes. What we're gonna do is try to crush, sticking in either into these mason jars, the juice, or I've got some flip top bottles here that they can ferment in. So let's get started. So we're gonna start with the red grapes. For both grapes, we start by destemming the grapes from the clusters. In an actual winery, the process would be automated with a crusher destemmer machine. In my household, I have to do it by hand. Now with all the stems removed comes the fun part, the crush. With a blunt object, these grapes get crushed to release the juice. I'm using the backside of a measuring cup here, a stainless steel one. It's nice and blunt. Next, the juice gets moved into a mason jar. With the red grapes, I want to ferment the juice with the seeds and the skins. So everything goes into the mason jar. To fit everything, I'm using 2 standard-sized mason jars.
Scoop it. Just keep going. Why didn't I think of that earlier? Well, that's a lot. All right. Cool. Let me balance these out. Not bad, not bad. About a little more than a mason jar worth. We'll throw some yeast in here, cover it for a bit, and then we'll get it off the skins pretty soon. All right, let's destem these white grapes, and then we'll crush. Look at them though. There's so many. They're so big. These clusters are massive. And the grapes are massive too. This one is a Palomino. I believe it's a Spanish variety, but if it's not, then you'll hear me say otherwise, or you'll see something on the screen that says otherwise during my post-production. It's going to take a while, but I mean, they're easy to grab onto and rip. Come back in a few minutes, but you can see how we're doing so far. Big old juicy grapes. All right, I'm gonna get rid of these stems here. So I'm gonna need that to filter. So let's start crushing the grapes. Whites. This would actually be a fun use of the GoPro if I had it with me right now. Oh yeah, nice and juicy. since I'm removing the skins, I can really press on what that filter is. Let's do that. That kind of works, but squish, squash, squish, squash. Let's see. Get all that nice juice out. I might need to put this aside real quick. The juice doesn't get all back up into this. Hold on a moment, folks. I can put this juice onto the first mason jar. Oh my god, I spilled so much. Oh, what a disaster. Mistakes. Let's try. Gotta press out more juice from this. Nowhere near the amount of juice we need. There we go. We're using the funnel this time. I'm not gonna spill.
Now we're going to pitch some yeast, and you're probably going to hate me for using this. Well, first, let's look at all this juice here. Look, I've got a full mason jar with just white grape juice without any skins. That's the most I've ever gotten. We're going to use a good old Red Star. So my plan is, since I don't really have an easy airlock system, I'm just going to get paper towels and rubber band them over the top. In the meantime, we'll pitch, let it settle a little bit. We'll only put a teaspoon to each. Actually, it might be a little too much. That should be more than enough. Probably like a quarter teaspoon. All right. The reason why I guess I'm using this yeast is because it'll kill anything. It'll crowd out any other competing organisms really fast. Will it really affect the flavor? I doubt it. The acidity in the wine is going to really do that more. So I'll come back and cover them up, and I'll put them somewhere safe. So here's my 200 IQ move to a set of rubber bands. What I did was I took a plastic bag here, like this, cut it in half, or yeah, cut it in half laterally. So I had 2 halves, and then I put it over the top here. I'm just going to poke a few holes in this, and it's secured on with the ring fitting on the mason jar, so it's perfect. That's what I mean. I'll show you what I'm doing. What you do is that way. You gotta cut it along the bottom because that side isn't seamed the same way. You gotta rip the 2 halves apart. And then you got some easy plastic. Go on, stretch it over like that. And then you can apply the ring lid. And now I'm just going to poke a few holes with something small. I'm going to find a toothpick, save the lids here for when it's time to deal with it. Yeah, I'm going to go put these in a nice spot to ferment. And we'll see how they turn out. Hopefully not nearly as acidic as the past few years.
So we come back about a week later, and it's time to rack the juice off of the skins. Like how I did with the white wine last week, the red wine needs to be pressed a bit to get all the juice out of the skins. I expect the wine here to be pretty cloudy, but if the white wine is any indication, it should all settle out. and 2 weeks later, you can see that the additional sediment from the wine had settled. The white and red both looked pretty clear, and I gave a taste test.
Alright folks, no mic in here, but I got a little bit of the white wine right here. Let's do a little taste test to see how it tastes 6 days after fermenting with a bread yeast. Hey, pretty crisp. Actually a lot better than my previous wines. So, I guess bread yeast is the solution. Or maybe just white wine in general, because all my previous estate blends have been on reds. I do have some red, I can taste that next. Alright, now I got some red. And this hasn't filtered yet. I mean, I've only just taken off the skins. So I got to let it filter a few days, but we'll give it a taste test to see how we go, or how we're tasting now. Pretty acidic, but it's got enough flavor where it isn't hard to drink. So I think this actually will turn out better than the previous estate blends I've tried. We'll see. I'm hopeful this year. I'm very hopeful.
I'll let these age for a few more months and then give them another taste test. Check back soon for that video.